Yeah. Welcome to the open book, where truth don't hide, stories ride, and every chapter got that power. Turn the page, now you stepping in, where real ones talk and the fake pretend. From viral heat to deep convo, we write the truth, let the whole world know. This ain't just a channel, it's a movement. The open book, every story, every voice.
Happy 4th, happy 4th. Thank you so much for joining the open book. Welcome, 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 everyone. Make sure you hit that like button and let everyone know that we are live. Yes, on this 4th of July, we are live. Y'all not doing anything anyways right now, so kick back, relax, and let's get into it, okay? Because we got a lot of things to discuss. Well, in a short amount of time, because I do have somewhere to be a little later. So I said I wanted to go ahead and talk about these things before we kick off the festivities. Okay. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Let everyone know we are live. Also, if you would like to support the channel, you can purchase a coffee. That link is posted at the top of the screen. Also, super chat, super stickers, and my Cash App is scrolling on the screen below. Let's see who we have in the chat so far. Welcome, Shelly Shells. Thank you for being first in the building. I appreciate you for being here, sis. Y'all make sure you tap the like button. Hi, Nita. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Hey, the other Shelly is in the building. Welcome. Hey, boo. Welcome. Happy 4th to you as well. Hey, Lampo is in the building. Lampo React. Thank you for joining, sis. Okay, she said... Leave Tissa alone. Hey, Dreaming Girl is in the building. Welcome, sis. Thank you so much for being here. Hey, Rebecca Boo, welcome. Yes, Dreaming Girls put some ways that y'all can support in the chat as well. Okay. So we're going to get into some things today. And so y'all make sure you hit the like, let everyone know we are live. All right, so the first thing that I wanted to get into, y'all. Now, y'all know that the trial almost to the end of the thing, okay? We have reached the verdict part of that, and now the only little part left is the sentencing for Diddy, okay? Which right now is scheduled for October the, I think, 3rd or 8th. I think it's 3rd, but I think 8th. Either way, it's in October. However, they are meeting next Tuesday to discuss moving that up a little sooner. Okay. Hey, Susan. Hey, love and happiness. Welcome. Shout out to Shelly Shells for the super chat. She said, happy 4th, everyone. Blessed day, everyone. Thank you so much, sis, and for being a sponsor for today's live. Hi, hello, Kitty. Welcome to the open book. Thank you so much for joining us today. And so we kind of reached the end of that. So now, y'all, we were thinking who we get to breathe, right? Out of nowhere on yesterday, it has been reported that one of the male ex-workers, okay, is now suing Diddy and Cassie for giving him allegedly an STD, okay? My husband, he was walking through, he was like, oh. Okay. Now I was like, wait a second. Wait a second. Now, with all this information that's been out, we've learned so much about these freak-offs, what was allowed, what they had to do, some of the people who were there. We've heard a lot. Okay, we've had an overdose. Thank you, Shelly, the other Shelly, for the super sticker and for being a sponsor for today's live. Thank you so much. Hey, Teresa, welcome. And so, that threw me off. So we had it was like the oversharing after a while of information, okay, pertaining to the freak-offs. I got sick and tired of hearing about it. Okay. Now, I don't know if y'all knew that there was another ex-worker that he had freak offs with them. And this is also the guy that went to the Trump hotel and was shooting. And they put this man, I think it was a hotel or golf course somewhere where Trump is usually. Oh, and thank you, Dreamy Girl, for reminding me. This live is for educational and entertainment purposes only and is covered under the Fair Use Act. Information shared is alleged in our opinions as we react to various topics and people. And so this guy, everyone assumed he was crazy because at that time he was even saying that he had been sleeping with Diddy and doing all these nasty things and so forth. So people were like, this dude is out of his mind, which he did have like some type of mental illnesses and things like that one of his former wives had said. However, she said after that whole thing with Diddy, and I don't know I think it was Cassie that he was sleeping with at that time, he was never the same. Well, this guy had an interview, okay? He did a whole interview recently, about a month ago, and he said that they paid him $5,000 and he had to sign an NDA. All right. So some of these ex-workers are coming out. Now, I'm surprised they didn't pull that guy in as a witness. Now, those type of things we probably would have wanted to hear more about, but all this other stuff, the baby oil, it was just overkill. Okay. It was just overkill. Susan said, are we able or know exactly what disease is being shared? Sorry if I wasn't supposed to. No, we don't know. It hasn't, that part hasn't come out yet. Okay, so let me go over some of that information. We're going to get into our other topics. Okay, so one of the male escorts, his name is Clayton Howard. Okay, now he was allegedly hired, and he's dragging Diddy and Cassie. Now, Cassie's sitting on that $30 million with a new family and baby and things like that. Now, these ex-workers are coming out wanting a piece of the pie. Okay, now Diddy's still sitting behind bars. Okay. Okay. Hey, Denai, welcome. Okay, so he said, please be sure to let the people know that Denai and Ratchet TV are two different content creators. Yes, okay, they are. Y'all, they are two different people. So that was, I guess, Denai, were you coming up on the fire? I guess people were thinking it was Denai there that day when Tissa was live and was outside, trolling and things like that. I guess some people thought it was Denai. So Denai and Ratchet TV are two different people. So thank you for joining. Shout out to you, Denai. Hey, boo. Thank you so much for the super sticker and for being a sponsor for today's live. And welcome everyone that's coming in. If I don't catch you, welcome. Now, the other thing, so Cassie has her money. Now, Diddy's in jail, and pretty much he hasn't even had a chance to get back to his pie yet. Okay. But a lot of people, he has some civil lawsuits that are being filed. A lot of people are going to start coming out of the woodworks on this. Now, this guy, Clayton Howard, is saying that Cassie gave him a sexually transmitted disease. And not only that, y'all, this part here, I'm like, oh, Lord, I hope he'll be able to prove all of this. He said that she allegedly got an abortion after he got her pregnant. Okay. He went by the name Dave when he was hired for these freak offs with Diddy and Cassie. And so after that, he also said that he contracted. Now, he didn't say right now, unless it's in the actual lawsuit, but he said he contracted an STD from having sex with Cassie. And someone brought up the situation of, well, how did he know that he got it from them? Well, I don't know if y'all remember some of these sex workers. I know the one that did the interview with Armand Wiggins, Flash, he said that he showed, because we laughed about it, he was showing the My Chart information saying he was clean. Okay, now it is hard to prove because if you sleeping with other people, who's to say that they are the ones that gave you that? Okay, so that part is gonna be a little tricky. And he says that he impregnated her and she aborted the pregnancy without telling him. And he also alleged that he continued having unprotected sex with him. Now, I do think that they were having some unprotected sex because during the testimony, I believe of Jane Doe. Ooh, let me not say which one because it was so much of this at one time. But one of the women said that she want to use a condom, but Diddy was like, he didn't really want her to in that moment. But she said she would have felt better if she could have used that. Okay. So I think that there were times where they were going raw dog. Okay. Now, Howard is one of the 7 male escorts federal prosecutors in Diddy's criminal case say were transported across state lines for the purpose of prostitution. Okay. He claims he was hired for freak offs with Diddy and Cassie starting in 2009. And he says for more than 5 years, they trafficked him for the purposes of commercial sex, using him as entertainment to satisfy their sexual fetishes and personal ambitions. Okay. He also claimed that Diddy and Cassie drug, manipulated, and traumatized him while they themselves engaged in a toxic, domestically abusive relationship that often became violent. OMG. Okay, so that is a lot. Now, some of those details, I'm going to be honest, could come directly from the lawsuit. If you were following that court case, come on now. We heard a lot of this. So he better have some proof because anyone could just say, oh, yeah, they did this and they did. Well, we heard that publicly, the transcripts and all of that. So, yeah. Hey, Mary, welcome. Thank you for subscribing to the Open Book and for being a part of the family. Welcome. Okay, she said, yeah, like how they know. Right. So glad I take honor in my temple very seriously. Okay. Hey, Teron, welcome. Thank you for joining. Yeah, y'all. So this is going to be interesting because how many more of those ex-workers are going to come out? Okay. Right, Rebecca. She said why they didn't come out when the court case was going on. Right. Now that part, hey, is very suspect. All of a sudden, after everyone has been awarded money and you see Diddy probably is going to get out. Some people are guessing maybe he'll get time from 2 to 4 years. I don't know. They haven't done the sentencing part. Let's see. I can't even look at Cassie. Sometimes I picture the details from the case. I know, Jasmine, it was very traumatic. It really, really was. I was like, some of the stuff she said, I'm like, oh my goodness. Like, I wonder does her husband think about that? Because there was a lot of stuff shared during that time. It really was. Hi, Nightwing, welcome. Well, if Diddy's attorneys didn't drain a majority of his money, all these additional cases sure will. Yes, I can see that too. Hey, Brittany. Hey, sis. Good morning. I can see that too. I can definitely see that. So, yeah, that just came out, y'all. That was breaking news on yesterday. So, I don't know where that is about to go. Okay. Now, moving on. So, we were talking about the Diddy trial on yesterday and some things that I believe that two Pelicans know, look, that because I think some of it will be time served. And now if the judge goes harder on him, that judge is not playing. He may not, okay, because he's been in there almost a year. So that may be 1 year time served coming up, I think on October, November, up in that. Then maybe another year or two. But yeah, I don't know. That's a hard one to call. And so we were talking about yesterday some of the drama and things that were taking place outside of the courtroom. And now it seems like some of it started inside of the courtroom. it's good to kind of get some context and background to some things that have been happening. I know there was a lot of content creator beef that has started taking place, and we had some unanswered questions on yesterday. A lot of it was directed towards Tissa Tales, which is well known here on social media. She has a very popular channel in all of that, and she was boots on the ground throughout this whole trial, in addition to other content creators who were there, boots on the ground, recording, spending their finances, really connecting, and it really opened up some other doors for those content creators and influencers. Welcome, Jobo Nod. Thank you so much for joining. It really did open the doors. But in the midst of that, y'all, we were talking about, man, it was some other stuff going on. Now, I prefaced this yesterday by saying that I support a lot of these content creators. And sometimes that's a tough position to be in when you are an outsider looking in and covering something like this, okay? Because you don't want it to look like one-sided. So I put stuff out there and I leave it up to you based off of what we see. Come up with your own conclusions of what's taking place, okay? I can give my thoughts on some things, but I like evidence. I like when people put out actual proof, okay? Now, let's see. Susan says, since Diddy's use of using money to get what he wants, that's exactly where he'll get hit at. Balance has to occur. That's a good point. Mary said, I thought it was said Cassie was paid by Diddy's insurance coverage. Oh, I don't know where they paid her from, but baby, she got that check. I was listening to someone on YouTube saying that with all these new court cases coming forward for Diddy, he might not get out at all. No, unless they have to retry him though in new trials though. It can't just be, oh, because he's guilty. Let's just keep him on in there. He would have to be retried. Hey, Lolo, hey, sis. I hope all is well. Thank you so much for joining. So, y'all, before we start, it was this one little video, and I know Tissa, she highlighted this lady in her interview she did with Nancy Grace. That interview came out on yesterday, and she was talking about a lady that I really hadn't seen yet. And I said, where in the world was this lady at? Because right when all the commotion was happening, when she was on live and all of that, I didn't see a lady there in underwear. Lo and behold, this morning I woke up, y'all. First thing that popped up was a video. I started kind of fast forwarding through the video, and I found that lady. Now, I don't know where this lady came from, but her name has been brought up a lot. So I'm going to show one little short video with her, but then when I show my video from yesterday with Ratchet TV and Tissa, she was at the end of it also getting baby oil squirted onto her. So Armand Wiggins was not the only one. I thought Armand was the only person out there getting baby oil squirted on him. Nita said, you just got to stay neutral. You're good at it open. Thank you, Nita. That's what, hey, look, I like to give my opinions and look, because, hey, I support pretty much almost all of these content creators, to be honest. That was a nice check. Yes, it was. So let me pull up this video right quick. This will kick us off into the conversation. Oh my goodness. Okay. I think this is it. No, hold on. That wasn't it. Thank y'all for your patience. I have so many tabs open that I need to show y'all. Okay, the title in itself from this particular live, got me because it said a fight broke out. I said, wait a minute. So we fighting up here at the trial. What was that about? Okay. So I clicked on it and I said, okay, let me see who is this lady. So this is the lady with the blue hair. It's not the crackhead. I said, we finally found her. Make sure y'all hit that likes. Dreamy Girl said we need like 75 more likes. Y'all, we can do better on the likes. That is for free. Hold on, y'all, 1 second. Let's hit the like. Before we continue, let's hit the like. Let's see here. I can't say nothing about a black woman giving her coin. Right. Okay. We all out here trying to get our coins. Let's go. Let's go. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Yeah. Yeah. Even if you're in the bushes, it is for free. Let's see. I trust your heart, but use wisdom. I believe more are coming, preventing him from getting out. And yes, they can retrial him while he's in there. Oh, they can do it while he's in there. Oh, y'all, that would be quite interesting. Okay. If we thinking, oh, he about to get out, he thinking he about to get out, and they say, well, not so fast. That would be interesting. Yes, I seen that yesterday on a page. Right. Okay. Let me go ahead and get this started.
He's not gonna do me. What do you want to know? I just want to know where's the freak off. Where the freak off?
Y'all got to understand. Everybody knew that those cameras were out there. People trying to get their 5 minutes, 15 minutes of fame, and this lady is no different. She probably said, "Let me go in the most horrendous thing I can find that's gonna get some attention." And it was another lady, to be honest, that was out there. I think she was the one going off on everyone. She looked like she was bathing. No offense to any homeless people. It looked like she was bathing in the fountain. Okay. And had on a diaper and a little like bra thing one day. And this was towards the beginning of the trial. And I was like, oh Lord, they're doing it like that. Because I've never been to New York. Okay. And people were like, oh, this is the norm in New York. Really? Oh, okay, so this probably would have been the norm, but she was trying to get her some extra press.
Action to the verdict today. I just want to know where's the first freak off. I heard that's gonna be July 4th. Let me just take my bra off.
No.
Okay. All right. The first freak off. I want to know where the first freak off is. That's it. I have baby oil with me, and I got Astro Glide. I got the lube. I just want to know where the first freak off is. Let's celebrate. What else do you want to know? Crackhead Barney and friends. I don't know about that. I have a lot of white followers, so I can't say that. I got a lot of white followers, so I can't really take them out. No, I'm just hot. No, really, I have a lot of white followers, so I can't really be honest about how I feel about Diddy because I'm working for white people. Is there you want more questions? Just where the lube at? Where the lube at? You gonna take the interview? Oh my God, this is so crazy.
Oh my God. So she was looking for the nearest freak off with her baby oil and her Astro Glide. Okay. Like, yeah, definitely some type of mental, but you know what? Sometimes some people are not mental. Some people want the attention, their fame. So she was like, let me put this blue hair, it's loud. Let me go put on some underwear, bra, taking some Astro Glide, baby oil. All they're doing is laughing at her. Okay. They are not taking her seriously whatsoever. Armand said he ran from the blue hair lady. Okay. She had been following him most of the trial. Really? She can see because Armand's thing after the trial every day, he would go live. During his live, he would say, more oil. Baby, he done attracted some people, some freaking people with the more oil. This is one lady, and this was towards probably maybe 3 weeks ago. He had a panel, And he brought from one, I didn't know if it was a man or a woman. And Shelly said, y'all, let's get to 100 likes. We can do it. Just hit that like. It is for free. And she got on camera and she had some baby oil. And she was just rubbing it all over herself. And she had on clothes or whatever. Y'all, she kept on putting it on. I said, well, how slippery is she trying to get? Okay, so it's some people that's taking this oil thing to a new level. So this lady was one that was getting squirted outside of the trial, okay, of the courthouse. Oh my goodness. Teresa said, I'm about 2 hours from New York. I'm in Maryland, and we always catch the bus to New York. Wow. Okay, she said that couldn't be me. A lot of people said that's the norm in New York City. You never know what you're going to get. Oh my goodness. I saw someone with that shirt too. And welcome. Shout out to, is it Fizza the God? A Frico is not a Rico. Yes, someone had that shirt and they were walking around with that one as well. Brenda said the female with the blue hair sounds ignorant and no class whatsoever. She thinks she's cute with that behavior. I don't know how she. Okay, she said she working for the white people too. I'm like, girl, what does that mean? They laughing at you. Hey, boots on the ground, welcome. Thank you for joining, sis. I said they were laughing at you. Tyler Place on Houston. Welcome, Team TISA all day. Okay, so before we get into Ratchet TV's live that he did yesterday, trying to think, do I want to do that? I want to do that first, and then we'll go into TISA also came live yesterday. And y'all, she was preaching at the beginning of that live. She said a lot of true things about this Diddy verdict. And I totally agree with her. I was even saying that I think when the verdict came out that day and people were going live, and you know, yes, it's a celebratory situation for him because he did not, in his mind, get the more serious charges, verdict of guilty on those charges. However, he is not guilty. Okay, sir, you're still guilty. And there was a lot of evidence, things that he has done, things that were stated, evidence shown that a lot of people wanted him to pay the price for that. Now, the jury, hey, they were the ones that had to make the decision. But there were people that we saw, Cassie, we heard her testimony. We saw the video and things of that sort. And so even from assistance and all of that. So it wasn't that the evidence was not there. It just probably wasn't strong enough in the jury's sight, or they just couldn't see it to give him a guilty verdict. But I was driving when I was listening to that live. I said, you preach, Tissa. Okay. And so not only was she talking about that, but Tissa also had some words to say about some of the backlash that she has been getting recently. And so we'll take a look at that as well. Okay. Hey, April, welcome. Thank you so much. Please hit that like button, y'all. It is for free. This whole trial has turned into a total mess. Attention seekers and opportunists, right? They are taking this blogging platform too serious now to the point that is showing people's true colors. Ooh, okay. If Diddy gets out, he may as well buy the Johnson & Johnson company. Right. Okay. So, hey, I'm from Brooklyn, New York, and that's the normal. Thank you for confirming that. Okay. I have to admit, I'd like to see his face when bail was denied. They said that his eyes got big and his mouth dropped. Okay, because I think he thought he was going to get his way. I really do think he thought that. Please find the live where Ratchet got his phone snatched and the one where he said he's going on to fight back to Dallas because someone did him like he did Tissa. Oh, really? I didn't see that part. Diddy is innocent until proven guilty. Cassie and Jane should have been on trial with him. Well, I think that KK, his former whoever she was, to him should have been up there with him too. Now, I did have an unpopular opinion with the CASSIE situation because some stuff I think that they incriminated themselves more, but they had probably those immunity deals, but they did a lot. Okay, a lot of the dirty work was done by the women. Okay, he kept his hands clean. I don't like Tissa's reporting style, but I would never go to her lives and say anything to her about it. Got you. The problem is they said yes too many times. I agree with that. I'm feeling sorry and worried for the people who testified and who did TV interviews. Well, that's why CASSIE, thank you, Dreamy Girl. That's why CASSIE was a little afraid and wrote that letter. And I think that that letter did have an impact on the judge's decision as to whether to let him out right now, because maybe she feared for her life, or they thought, the judge said, y'all stated to the defense that he, it was some violence there. So why would you put a violent man right back out there? Okay. I think that baby oil was laced. I was wondering, did they ever test that? I know that they tested the Visine, but did they ever test the baby oil? That's a good point. Okay, so she was the former chief of staff. Yes, she should have had a seat right next to him. She covered up, in my opinion, a lot for him. Okay, a lot. So let me pull up this other video. Thank y'all for your patience. Let's see, his female chief also wrote a judge letter. Yes, his kids wrote one too. Thank y'all. 1 second. So I wanted to play the one from yesterday first as like a little opener. And some of y'all may have seen it. All right. Now, those of you just coming into the chat, also Donat was in here earlier. He's a content creator, and he wanted me to just let everyone know Donat and Tissa, Donat and Ratchet TV are not the same person. Okay. He said because sometimes people are getting them confused, thinking it was him outside going off when she was live, and it was a different person named Ratchet TV. And I have subscribed to Ratchet TV back when he was covering the Michelle Loud story, and that's how I came to know Ratchet TV through him covering that story. So I wanted to show this little video here, and then we'll get into more depth in him explaining more of what happened, y'all. I'm a firm believer, as in I like to hear both sides of the story, because you never know if you're missing something. Whether it's people we support, we like, y'all, sometimes we miss it. We're humans. Sometimes we miss it. I know I've even put constructive feedback into Tissa's under one of her videos when she was reading a lot of the supers and she was coming out and giving information, and she was like getting distracted, reading the supers, fixing her hair. Like that was becoming a distraction to me. Okay, that was just me. And so I put my constructive feedback into the chat. I don't know if she ever saw it, but it was. And when she didn't have the supers going that day, she was more focused. We can understand and follow. So it was just little stuff like that. So regardless, even myself, if someone has constructive feedback on how I'm doing something, I like to listen to my supporters and people who watch me. Okay. And so nothing is a personal attack, but what we do like to do is listen to the full, like, complete story as to what happened. Because something, if we watch just one and don't watch the other, we could miss something. Okay. Just a misunderstanding. You be the judge.
Double tap that screen. Give me the 500 likes, man. Double tap that screen. Okay, so we're going to do this by gems and we're going to do this by caps. did Tissa Tales go on her platform and say Diddy? She was the first one when the verdict allegedly came in. The day, not the day the verdict actually came in, but the day the verdict allegedly came in, and it was like we got 2, 3, 4, and 5, but we don't got one. Did Tissa Tales not go on her platform and say Diddy was found guilty of all 5 counts? She was the first one trying to spin that narrative, and I was correcting everybody in that court building. And I was correcting everybody outside. No, they have not come up with a verdict. But I was inside, and everybody ran inside because Tissa was outside telling everybody that Diddy was already found guilty.
Come back. I'm sure you guys already heard and has already decided 4 out of the 5 counts. 4 out of the 5 counts the jury has come back with. Now, as you know, it can only go 2 ways, but y'all, it looks like the jury has already found Diddy guilty of 4 of the 5 counts. I saw the body language. I saw the way they're looking at Diddy. It looks like he is guilty out of 4 of the 5.
Okay, so that could be misconstrued. Okay, she said it looked like. Now, this is one of the things I think he's saying, because yesterday, many of us, had questions when people, when we heard him outside of the courthouse talking to Tissa. Let's see. And then when we heard Gerald also talking outside, and they were saying Tissa was lying. That's all we could hear people saying is Tissa was lying. So we're like, okay, can somebody give us some evidence or tell us when y'all are saying that Tissa is lying? You can't just come with that without telling us what are y'all saying she's lying about. Okay, now this could be misconstrued, because if you're saying it looks like Diddy is 4 out of the 5 guilty, I think some people ran with that and took that as in she was saying that it's a definite guilty for those 4 charges. But she also said based off of the looks that they have. So it's like, that's one of those gray areas as far as, because let me say this. I also did a live that day, and some of the people are in the chat that came into my live. And I know too that the jury had reached a verdict. Now, someone came into my chat, a couple of people said, well, they said that Diddy was guilty on the 4, but they haven't come up with the RICO yet. And I said, huh? Well, where are they getting that information from? Because I haven't seen a guilty anywhere yet. So I said right now they've reached a verdict. Okay. However, they had not come up with a verdict quite yet. Okay. And so it just really depends on, in my opinion, of this particular scenario, how you took that. Did you run with, Tissa is saying that 4 out of 5 are guilty. They're coming back guilty. Okay. Or are you taking it as she's saying possibly they are 4 out of 5 guilty, but I'm just looking at the body language and how they're looking. Gina says she repeatedly said, by the way, everyone was acting in their body language. She felt it was guilty on 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. Thank you, Gina. Through her lens, is what she detected. Okay. That was her assumption, like everyone else, including me. We were all guessing what was going to happen. Okay. Pro victim, always the ish he did is diabolical, but it's just the beginning for him, locked up or not. Okay. Hey, the chubby one, welcome everyone that is coming in. Please hit that like button. It is for free. Thank you so much. Some pro Diddy stands lack critical thinking skills. Wait, she had burgundy on the day of the verdict reading. Well, this was not when they read what the verdict was. This was pre saying they had reached a verdict, but we didn't know what it was yet. She stated her opinion. They were mad because she roped off like a star. Y'all are silly. Oh my goodness. Okay. Dreamy Girl said it could have been 4 out of 5 and they changed it the next day to 2. Okay. Hey, from Elena. Remember, they could have changed the verdict. Right. Ratchet is disrespectful, so disgusting. How he defends that monster. He could care less about him. And Diddy could. Okay. So all these people, Diddy is not going to acknowledge you, say anything. He will walk right out of that courthouse with those sunglasses on and get in his car and leave. He's not going to probably stop and say, thank y'all for supporting me and having my back. No, he gonna be ready to go home, get that Astro Glide, that baby oil, call up one of those ex-workers, call Jane Doe. Girl, let's get it. Where my food at? Where my servants? Bring them back. Diddy don't care about nobody but Diddy. Okay, we can go ahead and settle that. That's my opinion. We gonna settle that. He don't care. Okay, he don't care about nobody else. He only asks his kids to come up there probably and write a letter so he can get out. I knew there was no way they found him guilty on 4 or 5 because Rico would have been automatic unless they didn't find that it was an enterprise. Yes, Ben, and thank you for saying that. And thank you for joining. Yes, I agree with that. I think they struggle. And also, y'all, it shows that, remember they had a juror who in the beginning right when deliberation started, he said he couldn't follow the instructions or something. So to me, that means he wanted to find Diddy guilty probably, and the others did not. So I'm curious to know, how did they convince him that Diddy was not? Okay, because there was some struggle there for some reason with that particular juror. But he got on board the next day. He probably said, look, come on, what we got to do? Come on, I'm ready to go 4th of July. Right, we're all stating our opinions. Right, I agree. Okay, let me continue.
What's the one count they can't decide on? The Rico. I'm going to tell you everything I saw, everything I observed, Diddy's reactions, his family's reactions. But even when you get, hold on, let's stand right here. Even when you get into the Rico, you guys, they are demanding, hey, you too, get home safe. Even if, all right? Hold on, I have headphones. Maybe that'll make things easier for you guys.
Let me take you back to what happened outside of the courthouse. The verdict came in. I expected the celebrations from Sean's family. Ran downstairs to bring it to you guys live. That is when the mob descended. Grown men, hordes of grown men coming over, yelling, "We're going to treat you worse than Cassie. Cassie, what happened? What happened to Cassie is nothing. Wait till we get our hands on you. You F and B, you need to die."
Now, I think the part with this was the mob of people. Okay, the mob of people. Like, people were wondering, well, where is the mob? Okay, so you have to be careful. It was a few people, and you're going to see, even when he pans around, there were a few people recording him trolling her out there and going back and forth with her out there. But I don't see a mob of people coming up to her out here. Okay, so that verbiage could also be misleading because if I didn't see this, I would picture like, oh my God, these people are crazy. Oh, hold on. I would say, oh my God, these people are crazy. You have all of these people surrounding you like that? Okay, Jacqueline said, I think the same thing, open book. Okay, thank you, Jacqueline, and welcome. Yeah, and shout out to Boots on the Ground for the super chat. Diddy too selfish, right? Okay, and thank you for being a sponsor, sis. I appreciate that. Shout out to Dreamy Girl for being a member for 13 months. She said, can we get 100? Oh, yeah, we got to come on with it before we continue. Y'all hit that like button. It is for free. Okay, Dreamy Girl, you are exactly right. Susan, she said her man paid for security. Yes, I did hear that. This is why I can't watch her. Hi, my flower. Welcome. And I never heard him say no, Ben, I didn't hear that. No. And that's another part that he's going to bring up, because we have to be careful how we present things to the media, because it can get misconstrued, especially when we're attaching Diddy supporters. Anytime we're grouping a group of people together, hi, Miss Fat to you, welcome. Thank you for coming back. Then it can really paint this incorrect picture. Okay. Now, if it was truly a mob out there, I get that. But saying there's a mob of people, okay, it's like exaggerating it, not necessarily lying, okay, because it was people out there recording, okay, but things can be exaggerated to look a certain type of way, and we don't want to do that because people can, because what if there are some Diddy supporters who were acting normal? Okay, they weren't out there going after you. But if we say these Diddy supporters, and the reason I say that, y'all, is because I'm in one of the sectors I'm in. They group a certain celebrity, they group his supporters together. Okay, and like some of us are not the same as others. Everyone has their own mindset. Everyone does not move the same way just because you support a person. Okay, so that's just something to consider. Everyone was not doing that. We can pick out a couple of people. We saw that blue hair lady. Okay. She was not lying about the blue hair lady, y'all. To go and look for myself because I hadn't seen her. I thought Armand was the only one getting the baby oil squirted onto him. Okay, I never saw that lady until this morning. So she didn't lie about that lady. Okay, so it's something we can't just say Tissa is lying, but we have to be very specific on what is she lying about. Okay, because some stuff is not allowed. Bramalena said, I heard others on the street saying she needed to be on the live. They were just random people outside. Right. Now, see, if that's true, that's horrific. Why would you say something like that towards someone who's just reporting the news and doing what the other content creators are out there doing as well? It should never get taken that seriously. Some people get too invested, too into their feelings about people we really don't know. Like, seriously, everyone can be anyone they want to be on social media. We don't really know any person that comes on here. I don't get that vested into people saying, oh, this person would never do this or this person. No, I keep an even perspective because, hey, I don't put nothing past anybody. We're all human in human flesh, okay? We're all capable of especially if you're trying to get to the next level, people will do some stuff, y'all. People will say some stuff. It's a dog-eat-dog world, especially out there with all of the competition, YouTubers, media. Everyone wants to be first to get the news out. Sometimes in haste, then things can come out that are incorrect. I'm not necessarily saying that's what she's doing, but hey, it can happen anywhere where it's like a lot of people doing the same type of things. Okay, and like I said, shout out to all of them for getting up every day and really going to cover that in real time. Okay, in various types of weather. They were out there and bringing us the inside information. So I do want to give them all their props for doing that. Thank you and welcome to the Open Book family. My flower, Monica. That surprise witness had to have armed guards escort her out as well. Oh, okay, got you. That guy is suing Cassie only because not only for giving him an STD, but because, yes, we talked about that earlier. Yes, y'all, there's a new lawsuit with ex-worker coming out saying that Cassie and Diddy gave him an STD and said he allegedly got Cassie pregnant and she aborted the baby. Now, I don't know what kind of evidence he has, but we shall see. Maybe they were saying those things to her when she came out the court. Possibly. Okay, that's possible. 280 watching. Is it your first time here? Go ahead and give Open Book a like. She's so cheerful and happy every morning. Thank you, April. I appreciate the support, sis. Yes, y'all hit the like. Let's see. Yesterday she said Cassie is a singer in her day was equal to Beyonce. That lady needs to twist it. Wait a minute. Cassie was not equal to Beyonce. I'm sorry. That's my opinion. Okay. This is actually the open book sector. But y'all, I do have different supporters from that sector. I don't know if y'all know Terry Dow. He's one of the supporters. So yes, we have a mixture of various sectors that come over here to the open book sector. And I think some of y'all have been in here before. And welcome to everyone from the Mo3 sector. Shout out. Queen B said, hello, everyone. Yes, no way we could catch anything and everything that was incurred. Exactly, Susan, that part. It's hard to keep up when you have people, different sectors, different content creators recording. Maybe this happened. Then there was some stuff that happened in the courtroom we don't know about. But then we only see it from one vantage point if we're just watching one person, which is why it's good to kind of hear various sides to see what actually was taking place. It was said she was in the main courtroom on the 26th floor and went down to the 24th floor overflow. Okay. Well, that she said they were armed. Fizza the guy, yeah. A lot of it was off camera. Exactly, Boxing for Life. Yes, included in the courthouse. And they didn't have their phone back yet. Exactly. Security can keep things from getting physical. I agree. I'm a follower of Ratchet TV, and he has been saying since trial started there was no RICO and it was consenting adults. Okay, and welcome, Ravens fan. Thank you for joining. Yes, okay. They bullet BJ investigates too. Oh, wow, I never heard of him. Okay, let me go back to this part.
This, we're going to reach into you. Literally, 2 armed guards were protecting me from a swarm of men, of Diddy supporters. This is what they wanted to do to celebrate when they're
now a swarm of men we don't see, and how, like I said, even with Mrs. Netta, okay, when Mrs. Netta was talking about is black women in that chat coming for him, okay, I was like, how could you tell? Okay, it's a lot of these people don't even have profile pictures. So how did you know the ones trolling you were black women? Okay, even over here, the people that were, because it's not a whole mob, it's not a swarm. How do we know that they are Diddy supporters? Some people were actually like us right now, being nosy on the outside. On the outside looking in, was just getting some footage. Okay. They weren't trying to get involved. They were there just, hey, just looking at what was taking place. Okay. Bystanders. That was it. So yeah, we got to be careful making generalizations saying everybody that was around were Diddy supporters.
Degenerate King came up. But in that
she also went on, like I said, she went on to say all this misinformation. So I just walked up to her, and I never walked up to her. If you pay attention to it, let's see. I'm like 10 to 15 feet away from Tissa. I was not close to her at all. I never provoked her. I was not attacking a woman. This was not, she's twisted it in people's minds to make people believe that I was attacking her. Oh, now you're a black woman. You don't even date black men. Let's start there. You're not even of the culture. Why don't you tell the people who you really are? It's gonna, now mark my words, all her tea gonna spill out real soon. Listen to what I'm never wrong. Her day is coming. It's not a threat. Let me make that clear. I'm not gonna do nothing to you. I don't want issues with nobody. I'm just saying your tea is gonna spill all over the internet. That's all I'm saying. And I'm not saying that in no threatening manner. So don't start twisting my words, Karen. Don't start twisting my words, Karen.
She gotta feel it. She gotta feel this shit. Tissa gotta feel this.
Okay, let me pause here for a second. I would like to give a shout out to We Are Direct Points 215 for the super chat. He's saying how I got a receipt. Rat TV saying him was going to New York to expose Diddy. Okay. Wow, and thank you for being a sponsor for today's live. Okay. Thank you so much, Ravens fan. Sir, yes, you were. We saw, we heard. Okay, and this is the part where he went towards Tissa. So I want us to pay attention to the distance, what was said, and all of that. Okay, this is that section.
You lied to everybody. That's right. You lied to everybody. Shame you. I rebuke you, you devil. You lied on all these black men. You lied on the black man. You lied on a black man for your platform to gain more followers and money.
Oh, Lord.
You lied to your whole platform to gain money. You lied to everybody to gain money. Are you going to give your subscribers their money back for the lies you told? Ooh. Are you going to give your subscribers their money back for the lies you told? You're the mad one. We broke. Me broke? You think I'm broke? I got more money than you. Now they not gonna touch me. You motherfuckers better not put a finger on me up in this motherfucker. You ain't gonna put a finger on me. I'm not touching nobody. I'm not in harm of nobody. I'm not even within 6 feet of you. You're a liar. You are a liar, Tissa. You are a liar, Tissa. Tissa Tales is a liar. She lied to everybody, and she's working for the prosecution, and she was paid by the prosecution.
Okay, now shout out to We Are the Record again for the super chat. We just want the truth. They was walking together days before. Now, I'm glad that you brought that point up because he did say something, y'all, in this video. We're going to see a little snippet of where he gives more context. He stated that they even sat together in court. And Tissa would sometimes come into the courtroom when she was out, I guess maybe doing her lives or something like that. And she would ask him, you know, what did I miss? This is all alleged based off of Ratchet TV, his live. And, you know, he would share his notes with her. So I guess if we have, and y'all know over the course of that thing was what, 6 weeks, 7 weeks, you have seen each other. Okay, over the course of time, one point or another, you have seen each other, YouTubers, influencers, y'all have seen each other. So would I perceive you as a threat? Like if we out here we sitting by each other in the court, we taking notes, doing what we do, doing our lives every day. I don't know if I would have been really threatened. Like I would have been like, what you doing? You know, can we talk about this in the courtroom, but later on, what's going on? You know, so that there, I would have wondered as well. That just would have been my question as well as to, I don't know if I would have felt threatened or why would he go after her if that's something that has happened. And he's going to say that from his own mouth, that they sat by each other. Okay. Cynthia said another black man attacking a black woman, even though it's only verbal this time, he is just as awful as Diddy for it. Birds of a feather. And shout out to you, Cynthia. You know, clout chasers always try to be cool at first and then turn for a moment. Possibly. Okay. It's a video out there where it shows side-by-side video. He stalks her down. Ratchet said she promised her followers that he was getting life for Rico. Now, I didn't hear that part. The dude was using her content way before this trial. Oh, wow, it's me. I didn't know. Like I said, y'all, Ratchet TV, I follow from the Michelle Loud case. Hold on one second. From the Michelle Loud case that he covered. That's how I came to know him. So some of the things I may not have been privy of myself. That's why I welcome any of your thoughts, okay, on this. Because like I said, I support all of them, y'all. And it's a hard position sometimes to be in when, you know, we're neutral. We're on the outside looking in. There were things that took place inside of the courthouse that I didn't know till I watched his live last night. Okay. I watched Tissa's live. I try to give her, and I'm going to play some of her points as well. So we just have to be fair. It's almost like a courtroom here. This behavior is juvenile and embarrassing. Okay. He was verbally aggressive. No telling how much closer he would have gotten if she didn't have security. Well, it's obvious she needed some type of security. And you know what was also obvious, y'all? And this is just a little side note. Notice how we would see with the other YouTube channels, okay, the people who were there reporting. Every once in a while, we would see other YouTubers come over to their channels. Hey, y'all. Hey, this is such and such. Hey, this is such and such. I never saw Tissa have any of those YouTubers in her lives, which she doesn't have to. And I never saw her in theirs. So to me, that also showed that there was kind of like a, not a divide or, you know, they just didn't click like that. Okay. So that's another thing that I took note of even before any of this even came out. Okay. Okay, let's see. Yes, she did. To what part, Reed? Welcome. Cloud Chasing and Raggedy. She had, which one did she have in there? I'm talking about the men. Let me clarify. I'm talking about some of these men. Do y'all remember? Okay, she had lovely teeth. I do remember that one. Yes. Do y'all know of any other one she interviewed? Now, I love that. Love and Happiness, Gene Deal. Well, let me just clarify. Any of the ones that are now a part of this, like we have the Armand Wiggins, Ratchet TV, Gerald Jackson, Nick at Night. A lot of them, I think Miss Sylvia, they were kind of all together sometimes. She had TT in her live. Okay, I was just curious, so she doesn't have to. He started harassing her with Lovey T. Good point. He wanted a moment and was mad because Tissa was telling T he dusty. Oh, okay. Okay. I missed that part. Wow. Okay, got you.
She's a federal informant, and she was paid by the prosecution to tell lies on social media. That's why they got a special little spot for her right here in front of the court building, because she's a fucking liar.
My God.
Tissa telling lies. Tissa telling lies. You don't wear the same wig for 8 weeks. We don't give a damn about that. You don't wear the same goddamn wig for 8 weeks. We don't care about that shit. You don't wear that same dry ass wig for 8 weeks. We ain't doing no trip, calling me broke. Calling me broke. You gained your momentum off the Diddy case and the lies you told. You gained your momentum off the lies you told on P. Diddy. Now go back and apologize to Puff family for lying. And Shanquilla Robinson. She hate black people.
Now the Shanquilla Robinson case, I've seen that comment come up where Dejanay Jackson, it was stated, and I think Gerald Jackson even brought this up on his live, that T said stated that Dejanay Jackson has been arrested, and that is not true. None of them have been arrested. I have been following that case. Even Nosy Bystander recently did an update on some paperwork for that lawsuit that has come out. That is not true. None of them have been arrested. Okay. So I did hear that name pop up. I don't know what else she stated about Jonathan Majors. But that part I can say is not true, because I'm mad that none of them have been arrested. Okay. I'm from Texas and watched Ratchet back when Mo3 got unalive. I can't stand Ratchet for the life of me. Wow. See, I wasn't around for that part. Wow. He needs a hug. Y'all silly. Tissa was very sweet and giving props to each other. Tissa gave Lovely T and Bowie their flowers. Okay, Bowie. I don't know who that one is. That man hates women, particularly black women. It was reported on other YouTube channels that Tissa and Gene were both paid by the feds. Wow. Yo, where is Gene Deal? Have not seen, because remember during the trial, Gene Deal had a live every day. I'm gonna have to, because I don't usually go to people's channels just popping on, looking up lives unless it pops up on my home screen. And he was popping up every day. He may have done a live and I just missed him. I have not seen Gene Deal. I'll be okay. Okay, yes, African Goddess. Yes, when you're under pressure, it is hard to keep your composure, especially someone said she had like 30,000 people in her chat. So you really, now when she said he's these broke ninjas, but said the other word, just mad, I didn't like that part. I'm gonna be honest, okay? And he's gonna state in his video too that she talked about him first and called him that, and that's when he went back to her appearance it was because she had said that first. Tissa had 500 plus followers prior, 500,000 plus followers prior to Diddy's trial. Ratchet is a foe and needs to go. He's gonna get a hug and chill from oh Lord. I bet if Gene was there, oh boy wouldn't get that close. Yeah, because Gene Deal, he was there for a little bit. And he thinks Cassie lied about getting beat up too. Now that part, we know Cassie didn't lie about that. We have proof. That's on video. Okay.
She don't like black people.
K-12 makes going back to school easy. We deliver an education that takes your child beyond the.
Knowing she date white boys. Knowing she do. No.
Yesterday, if you see people talking to me and you see that I got all this information, you know I might be telling the truth about this, right? So somebody told, they didn't tell me this part about Tissa, this wasn't told to me directly. This came to me third party. Somebody.
And see, you got to be careful on getting third party information because we don't know when people come to us third party. We don't know if they got an out against Tissa or not, and they trying to use you as a pawn. Like you have to be careful on getting third party. Now, if it's something factual and it came from a trusted source or someone that knows for sure they have proof of this XYZ, then yeah, but you definitely can't really go by third party information. That's just my opinion on that.
People been talking in that building. So somebody in that building let it be known that the prosecution paid Tissa to be there. The prosecution set up a nice corner in a fenced area that was really for real legitimate media. And I ain't hating. Trust me and believe me, there's no shade, there ain't no hate in my blood about nothing. So the real people with press passes, real media like CNN, TMZ,
right? We are the red.
They had this special spot, but the feds got a little fenced off area for Tissa, right? I wasn't tripping on that. Do your thing. Hey, get your hey, salute. Do your thing. So, and one thing about me, Ratchet Gang, no, I ain't no hater, bro. I don't hate on nobody, fam. So let's get this out the way too before we. No. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. So the feds had already gave her this little.
Right. That was my point too yesterday, African Goddess, that these things cannot be proven. That is defamation. Okay. That's a huge, to be honest. That is a huge defamation right there of character. If this cannot be proven, you are literally saying that she's an informant, she's working for the government and things like that. That's a huge, now if he has proof, I don't know. Okay. But if he doesn't, that is definitely a huge defamation case.
Fenced in area, whoop. So Tissa, they had already let it be known in that building that these people are paying. Not only, she ain't the only one though.
There was a woman in a pair of Calvin Klein underwears and a bra momentarily, because even the bras were and she was sitting there shimmying, bouncing, acting like it, acting like she was at like the strip club, right? I've never been there, but I assume that's what goes on. Why there was a man with a bottle of baby oil squirting it, and as the baby oil hit her chest, the crowd was like, yes, more, celebrating for their degenerate king. I've never seen anything like it, and I hope to God never to see anything like it again. At that moment, if God had asked me, do you think we need it? Yes, Lord, please flood it. Let me into the ark. Flood it all. This needs to be washed away. I have never seen such proud degeneracy. And what are you celebrating? That's all I kept saying. What are these people
I got the baby oil on you. What does our mind got going on out here, y'all?
You know, this whole trial, the whole thing with me has been the more oil. That has went viral with my platform. The people have loved that moment.
You just said
to be sinister at all. It was just the fact that, what the fuck, you know? And so the people ended up really, really loving that moment. And I did that for my fans and the people that's going to be here for.
Okay.
Some more oil.
They like
more oil. Salute Armand.
Shout out to Latay's World. You caught the lady with the blue hair in oil.
I ordered 200 hand-forged knives.
Yo, that was so funny. That lady, I hadn't seen her. I said, we got her. 2 times we saw her on that other the other video, and then we just saw her at the end of Latte World, her video. She got her being doused with oil. Okay. But y'all, there was 2 people that we saw with the oil. We saw 2 people with the oil. Now, I didn't see just a whole lot of Diddy supporters out there with the oil just going crazy. Okay, that part was funny to me. People outside with the baby oil, now Armand and baby oil child. Yes, more oil, more oil. I watch Armand. I'm sorry, y'all. Especially on his channel, that was an inside joke, and I get it. Armand did, just to say this, he did do on his community wall, he did a post apologizing for that, because some people were saying that was also disrespectful to the victims and things like that. And so he apologized for his actions and said that he'll be more careful on doing some of the things that could, kind of hinder, because, God has opened up some doors and things like that, and so you just got to watch your brand and the things you do in public, especially when new doors have been opened, opportunities and so forth. And so, I think he really listened to some people that support him and all of that, because me, myself, I support. And then when I saw that clip, I was like, what is Armand doing? I mean, I knew about the more oil thing, but I was shocked that he was doing that outside the courthouse. So he came into his show that day and he explained what it was, that it was only like for one guy's live, another content creator's live. He was doing that for, but people started coming over there recording. It grew. And so, that's why I'm saying it's good to have context around certain situations and things. These people are demonic. Hey, Jazzy, welcome. Nobody hating on Tissa. She's not for everybody. And that's true. Okay, can we just be real? Some YouTube content creators they're not going to be everyone's cup of tea. Okay. And so that doesn't necessarily mean that people are hating because that's not their preference to watch. That doesn't always mean hate. It's just some people prefer watching others. And there's nothing wrong with that. Everyone's going to watch who they want to watch. So I get it. Okay. And so then y'all, let's see here. I wanted to bring up Tissa Tales also did a live yesterday. And she kind of discussed what took place or her feelings about what was going on. So let me pull that up. Shout out to all of the content creators in the building.
Tell y'all something. This is the last thing I'm gonna say about this, because I want to put y'all thing. Diddy's team was trying to get me kicked out of the courtroom every single day. Every single day. Every single day. They was watching my live.
Okay, am I back? Can y'all hear me? I got kicked out. CNN is never invited. Oh my goodness, can y'all hear me now? Put a 1 in the chat. Armand actually felt really bad for the victims. He made a mistake by doing that. He was laughing at Diddy, but I don't think people got that. Okay, let me make sure y'all can hear me. Okay, yay. Okay. Thank y'all so much.
Started even with reality TV, that my investigations, which by the way, old school Tissa Tales, that's why you're here, are now a sudden I work for the feds because I know how to put two and two together, and I don't fall for the okey doke, and I can see behind the veil and see who's pulling strings and where the power lies. Let me tell y'all something. This is the last thing I'm gonna say about this because I want to put y'all thing. Diddy's team was trying to get me kicked out of the courtroom every single day.
Are you feeling stuck with $10,000 or more in debt and all the interest that comes with it? Try National Debt Relief.
Every single day. Every single day. They was watching my lives. They had their flunkies that are still broke, even though you took the Diddy deal. They had everybody watching my life. And when I say broke, I'm not shaming anybody's financial status. I'm saying they did it for a few pieces of gold, and y'all ain't even get the gold, dummy. Anyway, they was watching my lives every day. Every time they thought they had me tripped up, they were amplifying. Baby, I was literally, what did my girl Chantel said? It was a coup d'etat in this B. They were coming after me. They were trying to get me kicked out the courtroom every single day. Every day. Every day. What? And listen, every day.
No, he didn't say
okay?
that.
The judge had a gag order. I know some people are too stupid to know that the gag order was for the prosecution, defense, and all the attorneys, which I am none. But they had a gag order that if any party was leaking information or using the media through cat's paw, that one, it would be grounds for mistrial. It would have been a mistrial. It would have been a rightful mistrial. Second of all, the judge sat there and said that if he found out, there would be a formal investigation and people will be thrown in jail. Diddy's team was on my ass. Ask yourself if these idiots literally mad because I know how to use my brain. I can see past the veil. I can put two and two together. And when I can't put it together, I know how to investigate. Again, as much as people it is a skill to know how to investigate. It is a skill to be able to see the little spider webs that tie things and people together and be able to walk up the spider web until you actually find where the nest is. It is a skill. And I can proudly say I do have that skill. But the fact that people would even say, when even Diddy's MF and team, when they had their investigators out, because apparently if somebody's called an investigator, they can find out about the grand jury and witnesses and what's going on. But if I find it out, because these idiots from the Animal House don't know how to do anything, they can't even watch my live correctly and criticize me, even when I hand it to them. Now all of a sudden, not people, but the people in the back, dumb. I wish I could teach you how to investigate. I wich I could teach you critical thinking.
I agree, GP.
I wish I could teach you analysis. But apparently, listen, again, they've been trying to get me out of that courtroom from day one. Do y'all really think there was a press list for people that could come into the courtroom because Diddy's people were causing so much pandemonium. And yes, I've been on Nancy Grace. Yes, I've been on Nightline. Yes, I've been on ABC News Live, Burden of Proof. Yes, I've been in the Hollywood Reporter. And guess what? I am new media. And guess who had the foresight, instead of worrying about somebody else was doing?
So Tissa says she's new media. Okay. Now also, y'all, I do remember Armand. He also had opportunities to go onto these other channels as well. I think Nick at Night was on CNN. So this coverage did open up new doors for many of them. And a lot of people have said that more people spend time watching YouTube now than the news. Okay. So I know one time in Armand's live, TMZ, when I think this was the day that he was interviewing Flash, the ex-worker, TMZ had posted, they didn't update while he was live. So it showed that TMZ was probably someone tuned in from TMZ watching Armand Wiggins. He's even done TMZ coverage as well. So a lot of them, so we can't just think it's just Tissa that these opportunities are being opened up to. It's good that it is for her as well. But it's also others too. And I think some people miss that as well. So I guess they will all be considered new media. I feel like she hasn't covered this trial down the middle. She's using her platform to bash Diddy. Okay. Thank you for sharing your opinion on that. And y'all feel welcome to share whatever your opinion is. This is an open platform. Hey, like I said, I support all of them. I'm subscribed to all of them. I applaud all the creators that went to the trial, some more prepared than others. Okay. Passionate. Okay. A lot of y'all are saying she's very passionate, not guilty, accepted, period. She had like everyone is below her intelligence level. Hey, Casherelle, welcome. Y'all have me tickled. I'm not going to lie with these comments. I try to, I can't show all of them because we be for days, but y'all are funny too. And y'all are very intelligent. That doesn't make them new media. Go to college, get that journalist. Me, now go get the journalism degree. Okay, I'm really surprised all the time content creators that are focusing on TISA, whether they're chasing down the jurors, getting their what is that? I'm sorry, Carla. That's new to me. You can put it back in the chat. What's TJG? She's using it to support victims. And let me also say, because someone put a comment under one of my other videos, baby, we don't have a dog in this fight. Okay. I am not that invested in anyone on social media. This is all entertainment for me. Just like I talk about Nelly and the Shanti new show. To me, hey, this is the new entertainment. So I'm not that invested. This will probably be the last day of probably covering this part with Tissa, because I think we get into the whole bulk of what that part was, okay, on that day. Because it was like, oh my goodness, it was crazy that day. Especially now Armand with pouring all that dang oil on himself. Leave Armand alone. I hate the lack of care and the sarcasm, of her reporting. It annoys me. Ooh. Ramalena facts, they are boots on the ground now. Yeah, we're just here to post our opinions on it. Right. God has the last word. Right. Let's continue.
The foresight to look behind the veil while everybody else is clout chasing, to look behind the veil and see who's really running stuff. And I had the foresight to go in, right? Even though I was standing in line for weeks, right? To really be like, oh, wait, hold on. I'm new media. Can I be on the press list? I have credentials. I have my channel. I've been reporting the same way. That's what they won't tell you. Do you know that there was Legacy Press and Media had the whole
Yes, we
right
talked about that,
courtroom?
Danielle. Yes. Salute.
There's a left side and a right side. They had the whole right. It wasn't preferential treatment. It wasn't a VIP list. It was a press list. And ask yourself why your fave's not, oh, you know what? I'm not taking shots. And I'm not talking about a YouTuber. Stop. I'm not talking about a YouTuber, okay? I'm definitely not talking about a YouTuber. But my whole point of the matter is there was a whole press list. Ask yourself why your girl investigated, found out there was a press list that allowed about 30 members of the press in. It wasn't VIP, but the press. And your girl said, wait a second, I'm new media. I am new media. Here's my portfolio. Here's what I've done. Here's a little highlight reel of some of the hardcore investigative journalism I have done. Some of it is funny. like bringing down Simon's fake billionaire life. And some of it was really hard hitting. Like Jonathan Oddie, remember when everybody called me a liar, said I was a clout chaser, said this and that, and said I made up all the Jonathan Oddie stuff, and nobody believed it till 2 years later in the mainstream media. I had Jonathan Oddie 5 months before the government even thought about talking to Cassie and didn't even have their eyes on Diddy. And this is in testimony in the transcript.
Why are women everywhere choosing Abby X, the new tummy tuck alternative? I got the
So I say all this to say, so y'all mad, right? That I literally looked and once again used my brain and saw the webs that tie and saw who was running shit and saw that there was a press list and had the foresight to be like, I'm new media. Are you with the major outlet? Well, no, but I'm new media. I showed them the fact. YouTube has outpaced every TV. YouTube is now neck and neck with Spotify podcasts. And when it comes to TV and networks, YouTube is double any other network. I am new media. They have the highest percentage of TV watchers in America. The highest percentage. Okay? They watch it on YouTube. I positioned myself. I'm new media. May I be on the press list? And you know what? They looked at my resume. They looked at my real tip. They looked at everything. And they looked at my journalism. And they said, okay, fine. Because they recognize new media.
Hi, Pam.
So for everybody that wants to know how that happened, that's how it happened. I used my brain and I saw the spider web and I said, may I? And it was just that simple. The same way the 30 members of the Legacy Press, there's no VIP list, but they get to come in and they have that whole right side of the courtroom. So Tissa, your girl, new media was there too.
New media Tissa in the building, okay, at the courthouse. Now, I wanted to play this last little part with Ratchet. Remember we were talking about how, I just did the video. I showed that part first to kind of highlight various parts. I'm not going to show his entire live. If y'all, if the mods could put Tissa's channel, if you have not subscribed and you would like to, we're going to put her channel into the chat and also Ratchet TV, his link as well. Because I do want to show, because even after watching the snippet, Sean, he elaborated more because he also stated that more of the content creators that were there wanted to say something to Tissa, but they didn't. I think they were probably afraid too, because Tissa has a lot of supporters. They probably didn't want no smoke with Tissa and her supporters. So he said he was bold enough to go out and call her out, okay? But he also discussed more surrounding the whole what happened inside of the courthouse that brought it outside and kind of took it here, okay? So let me share my screen. And this was last night.
Did I not have? I told y'all the verdict before the verdict came. I had the verdict an hour or 2 hours before it actually came in. I told y'all what it was going to be. I told y'all he wasn't going to get found guilty of none of that shit. I told y'all he was only going to get found guilty of the prostitution charges. I told y'all that. So I already had. It's some shit going on. All I can say is about that is some people who be inside or whoever. I'm not saying it was no jurors. I'm not saying it was no employees. I'm not saying who did what. All I'm gonna say is I got some connections in that building, right? So that building had already let it be known Diddy wasn't finna get. And I can say this. I also got word yesterday. But this is not about Tissa right here. But I do want to tell y'all before I get started on it. I got a word yesterday from when I was in that building. All I'm gonna say is someone leaned down and talked to me. And if you was in the vicinity, if you seen me in the courtroom and you seen somebody bend down and talk to me, you know I'm not lying, because you seen somebody in the suit walk up to me, bent down and start talking to me. They were telling me some shit. That judge is against Diddy. That's all I'm gonna say. That judge is against P. Diddy. But that judge, and he gonna try, and that judge gonna try to hit him when it come down to sentencing, that judge gonna try to hit him with some shit. Also, they gonna try to get him in Cali. Remember, Ratchet TV said it. California coming after Diddy next. Man, they trying their hardest to get rid of Puff Dog, and I'm so happy that P Diddy basically won the case. You know what I'm saying? 90% of that case, Diddy beat the feds, dog, and I'm so happy he did that. So let's get back to Tissa. So if you see some,
I don't think he won anything. He's still guilty, in my opinion, just because they didn't find him guilty on it by the jury who was all older. I'm hoping they heard everything. No shade, no shade. But the whole jury, half of them was over 65. Okay. So wait a minute. Now we're not just gonna go that he won something. Okay, now maybe he probably won't get as much term, but he is still guilty.
somebody leaned down and talked to me in the courtroom yesterday, if you see people talking to me and you see that I got all this information, you know I might be telling the truth about this, right? So somebody told,
yes, I heard.
They didn't tell me this part about Tissa. This wasn't told to me directly. This came to me third party. People been talking in that building. So somebody in that building let it be known that the prosecution paid Tissa to be there. The prosecution set up a nice corner in a fenced area that was really for real legitimate media. And I ain't hating. Trust me and believe me, there's no shade, there ain't no hate in my blood about nothing. So the real people with press passes, real media like CNN, TMZ, whoop, they had this special spot. But the feds got a little fenced off area for Tissa, right? I wasn't tripping on that. Do your thing. Hey, get your hey, salute. Do your thing. So, and one thing about me, Ratchet Gang, no, I ain't no hater, bro. I don't hate on nobody, fam. So let's get this out the way too before we. No. We'll get to that. So the feds had already gave her this little fenced-in area. Whoopie.
Navan is a business travel booking platform that slashes your travel costs. With Navan.
So Tissa, they had already let it be known in that building that these people are paying. Not only she ain't the only one though. They were paying several people. There's another Caucasian girl that's a content creator. Y'all know who I'm talking about, the little surprise chick. They were paying her as well, allegedly. Because there was a couple people who had some real strong opinions. And I wouldn't even call them opinions. You're just lying. You're just flat out lying. So they invited this person out there to spin the narrative. No, her content name is like That Surprise. You know what I'm talking about? All right, so Tissa had already had this little spot with the whoop. You could see that she doxed and also she doxed two of the federal witnesses. Now that I got back down here, I find out Tissa was the one that was supposed to be removed from the courtroom. Tissa was the one who doxed Mia, and Tissa doxed Gina. Tissa doxed both of these people. Everybody knows she did it. Every content creator knows that Tissa was the one who really doxed these people twice. She doxed these people twice online.
Shout out to African Goddess for the super chat. She said, I don't think it's over. The feds don't like to lose, and they are coming for him. They confiscated a lot of evidence that will prove Rico, but Diddy wanted to rush the trial. They are coming back. Right. And thank you for being a sponsor for today's live, sis. I do agree with that. Remember, y'all, I've been saying, look, if he gets out, okay, people want to celebrate. Okay, he didn't get enough time. I mean, a lot of time and all of that. However, they are going to watch him even more closely. So I don't know if he thinks, oh, if he get out, he can be a little slicker. They're going to watch everything. They even tried that with R. Kelly for so long, like little cases here, little case here, little case here. And then when it was time for the big thing, they really got him and took him down. Okay, so yes, I definitely do agree with that.
There was an email that was sent to the judge and to the prosecution and to the defense team. We know the defense team didn't leak this information. How did Tissa find out that the email was sent out the day it was sent out? Why does Tissa leave with the prosecution every day? Why does she go off into these little rooms? Because she was working with the fucking federal government to take Diddy down. She was getting paid to spin a narrative. This was found out by all the content creators.
You can't prove that there's defamation.
From inside of that damn building, because the inside of that building ain't all corrupt. So let me start off by saying it's some good people in that building, in that federal building. Not all those people are against Diddy. Some people, some of those workers will come to me and talk and ask me questions on the low. Like, hey, no. I'm not gonna put nobody out there because I don't want nobody. I don't want to put nobody under fire. They say you're not lying. No, I'm definitely not lying. If you was there, you know.
So were the videos removed, y'all? Because I think when it originally happened, I went back and I think I was able to see it. Maybe she did take it down, but the name was put out there. And someone under her video even said it was said twice, even after the super chat situation, and then it was said again. And so I do remember a content creator has stated that there was a letter being sent to the judge about Tissa. And so that could have even been the letter, one of the letters she was talking about in her video that I just showed about her channel and that name being put out there. So I don't know. I think some people thought she would be next because another content creator who had said something on his YouTube channel that he wasn't supposed to was banned from the courtroom. So I think some people probably also felt that it was unfair, that if that happened, whether she wanted it to happen or not, then they probably felt she had some type of preferential treatment. Okay. Doxing is not a crime. Well, I think when it comes to this federal court case, there were stipulations and things that they read to them in that courtroom that they were not supposed to discuss outside of that courtroom, certain information. So I think that's the part he's talking about.
If you saw me in that building, you saw people walk up to me in suits, kind of real quietly and walk off. There was some gentlemen in that building, some women in that building who really wanted to see Diddy come home.
Okay, thank you.
Now, this information was found out by everybody. I get down here again, I get some more information about the shit. So once the Diddy case wrapped up, I never wanted to, this wasn't me targeting someone or harassing someone or bullying. This was me asking you to tell the truth now. Now we don't gotta do this no more. We don't gotta dance around this. It's over. Let's chop it up. You've been paid by these people. You lied. You want to, and you don't want to admit to the lies you told on Diddy. So I walk up to you and I just start asking you, hey, and the reason, and let me explain this. The reason why I was loud, the reason why I was yelling it, and the reason why I drew so much attention was because every news outlet that was doing this was standing right there. This is not a spot that I was trying to get no clout off of because I'm Ratchet TV. I don't need clout, bro. I don't do this shit for no clout. I already got clout. I don't need a moment. I already had my moments on the internet. I still have them. I got all the moments. You can go back and look at my resume. So this ain't me clout chasing. Like, y'all know me well enough. If you've been here for long enough, I don't do no clout chasing, bro. I am the clout. So when I was yelling it, I was yelling it so everybody that was filming live, not content creators, because all the content creators was on the other side. Y'all remember I walked back over there and told them, like, y'all missed it. Because they was all over there on the other side. Certainly, there was a few content creators over there, and everybody started pulling their cameras out once they figured out something was going on. But I was yelling it so that everybody that was media could hear it. That's why I walked all the way to the end and was like, yeah, all y'all, I wasn't just talking to Tissa. I said, all y'all been lying. All of y'all have been lying on Diddy. All of y'all been giving misinformation on the case. All y'all been lying. So I wasn't targeting Tissa. I was targeting the media. The old media, who Tissa is really trying to go work for Fox and Nancy Grace and CNN.
I really liked how you could reach a diverse group of learners in unique ways and really.
She's gonna leave. Look, my black people, you think that woman cares about you? You're sadly mistaken. That woman don't give a damn about none of y'all. She's gonna leave and go dip off and go be a newscaster somewhere. She looking for a job. She looking for a federal job. She trying to get hired by somebody. She don't give a damn about none of this stuff. She don't give a damn about the black community. She don't give a damn about none of us.
And let me go to the other.
And she made it very clear, which I'm gonna bring up that later. A membership to even be a mod over here. It's gonna happen, y'all. If I was wrong about that, wouldn't everyone would have surrounded me out that courtroom? Ratchet, why'd you get on your platform and lie? You're a liar, bro. I can't get mad at them. I'd be like, damn, I was wrong. Shit. I own it, y'all. I would have had to get on my platform and get trolled by everybody. If I was wrong, do you not know how many people would have been loving to say Ratchet TV was wrong? There he goes lying. Told y'all Ratchet's a liar. There he go lying again. People would have been foaming at the mouth for real to call me out for being a liar. Motherfuckers couldn't wait to say I was lying. Salute to Angie for that $5. Says, you are the best.
Shout out to African Goddess for the super chat. She said, get the likes up, y'all. This is good. Thank you so much, Queen. I appreciate that. So, y'all, you want to watch that video in its entirety, check out Ratchet TV. Now, he did talk about at the end, y'all, he was comparing the pay, okay? The YouTube supers from Tissa's channel and his channel. He showed it on his other phone, showing that Tissa had just hit her first $100,000 allegedly, and that he has received in supers almost 200,000. So the money part was a lie, you know, that he was saying that he has more money. And yeah, so he kind of went through some more instances of why she was a lie. But like I said, it all goes back to, can you prove that? Okay, because people are just going to think you're just saying something for hating or clout chasing if there's no proof. We don't know what was said inside of the courtroom. We don't know if that was said. You're saying it was through a third party. So different things like that. And yes, on the other side of that, Tissa, in my opinion, just has to be careful. We're putting certain things out where it may seem as though it's fact. People are running with it. But she, you know, that's her channel. However she does her things. We can't tell people how to run their channels, but it's just my opinion, because there were some instances, even with the titles. Okay, I thought we were going to hear about certain things. Then when I went and took a live on the video, it really wasn't talking a whole lot about it. It was a lot of generalization. So that's just my feedback. I even put it under her video because I'm a supporter. So I want to give constructive feedback, just like I welcome it for my channel too. Okay, and so yeah, I get it. Let's see here. Let me read some more of y'all's comments, and then I'm gonna have to get off and get ready. Ratchet wants a freak. Want to freak out too. I guess I just don't care that much about people. I don't know. I don't even marry. Like I said, it's like entertainment for me. Okay. Okay, leave Tissa alone. I'm still waiting for Cynthia to tell me what Tissa's credentials are. So she said, girl, you are funny. Hey, Tim, welcome. Man pocket watching a woman is super sus behavior. Oh my goodness. Let's see. It is a crime to lie. What the F you talking about? Yes, she did, and made a very inappropriate comment towards Ratchet. Yeah, she said, and I put that in my video too, about these broke ninjas, but she said the niggas are out here mad. I don't like that comment. Okay, and I don't agree with how he went at her. I wish that could have just been a conversation that they could have just had if they were all, you know, becoming this like YouTube family out there, you know, covering the Diddy trial. Can we kind of talk about this, you know, first? Because the way it came across, it looked a certain type of way. Okay, it didn't look good. And I get it what he's saying. If he has proof of these things, then hey, he gonna have to bring the proof, because I don't think people are just gonna go by, oh, she's lying. They want to see. But one thing we did see, there was not a mob out there. Okay, it was not a mob. They were not attacking her. He did stand back. No one said they would try to unalive her. Now, I don't like stuff like that. You do have to be careful, okay? Because people can get unalive by you saying that these men were trying to unalive you. So I don't agree with that too. I got to call stuff out on both sides is what we have to be careful. That's just my opinion. Tell it like it really was. I don't care if it's on TV, Nancy Grace, things like that. Because there was another part on there on that Nancy Grace interview, which if I had time, I would pull it up. But Nancy, because Tissa was saying there are a lot of celebrities that started talking out about Diddy. And she said, pay attention to the ones that are speaking out now that they saw he's not guilty. So Nancy Grace said, which celebrity? She said, oh, many. Now, see, that's a generalization. Okay. I saw 50 Cent with his petty, you know, but I haven't seen a lot of celebrities speaking out on Diddy, congratulating him or giving him any encouragement. They are all ghosts to me. I haven't seen not a one because they look like they scared. Now, Kanye was up at the courthouse, but we can't say many celebrities. Which ones? Be specific in that, because I think Nancy Grace wanted to be specific so she could go and look for herself. Who said this about Diddy? Okay, because I haven't. If y'all have, let me know. Okay. Are we being disrespectful? Okay, please don't be disrespectful in the chat. Yeah, exactly, Nelly. And you have to be careful with doing stuff like that. Yes, no one said they were going to unalive her. Now, someone earlier said there was someone in the like far off that was not a part of Ratchet and all of them right there that were saying mean things. I don't agree with that. No one should be trying to unalive anyone over this Diddy trial and reporting. Okay, what is that about? That's taken it to a whole other place. Like that's crazy. Because it wasn't in that video. Because it wasn't in that video means it didn't happen. On what part? Diddy doesn't have no priors, meaning never been in jail, so he have no point. So he's going to get the minimum sentence under the guidelines, which is less than 2 years or maybe 30 months, possibly, Jamie. I agree. He is the only one harassing women. Tissa and Surprise Witness got harassed that day. Punk only goes after women. Cassie, the real criminal. Baby, Cassie played her hand. Okay. And this new lawsuit, he said, I'm gonna play a draw for her. Okay. Oh my goodness. You said the mob was inside, not outside. Well, they had police in there. So they definitely have to be good on the inside. Tissa lied and said she received death threats on Nancy Grace. And she may have. Oh, okay, Gemini Rising. Ray J is very scared. He thought he was about to go down when that girl said that they were getting rugs from Ray J. Trump is going to tell Diddy to make $100 million donation to his charity before giving Diddy a million. Okay, we don't know if she lied about people saying they wanted her unalive. We only get a snippet of all the chaos that was going on. And that's what I was saying, Tip. I mean, it could have been other people, but I'm saying based off of a video that we saw, we didn't hear that part in that video. That's what I was saying. So, yeah, someone came in and said it was other people way over that were saying different things like that, and I don't agree with that. Your love is king, but didn't Ratchet TV use several terms when name calling Tissa perhaps in the heat of the moment. Tissa said the first thing that came to her mind to describe him. Yeah, that's why I said I didn't agree with what he did either. Hi, Mrs. X. Welcome. Okay. Yeah, the unalive threats happen on other videos from random people. Okay, Brahmalena, you were saying that. Yes. Random people on the streets, not content creators. Okay. Matt Q, I've never been. I probably would faint right before they put their handcuffs on. I'm not made for that. Okay. I will admit that. Okay. Oh my goodness. 22.3. Is it TOVR? Is it Tover? The fact they are fighting over Diddy and he didn't know. None of them is ignorant. I'm tired of this case. Exactly. He doesn't care either. Okay. I heard Davin and Donat make threats of harm to Tissa on their lives multiple times. Oh wow, I haven't heard that, Pitsy Pendergrass. Wow. I mean, it should never get taken there. It should never get taken there. I mean, I hated it even for the ones where it happened in Las Vegas. Like, man, y'all, like this is crazy. No, V, I haven't, not yet. Those YouTubers were talking about her looks and everything. Why they didn't lash out on the men? This crazy work. You can tell who fight women. Ooh, yeah, and I think the women too, y'all. I think they had an issue too with her. I don't know about the preferential treatment or VIP stuff that went down. I don't know about that part, what happened with that. But a lot of them could have felt some type of way. Tissa was next to the courthouse hiding behind the fence and bodyguard. What random people? It was random people. When he circled around with the camera, there are random people just walking through there and around there. And you can hear like the people's are huge. Now it was a huge group of people further down because he came to Tissa twice. He walked to her, then when he went back and told everyone what he had just done, one girl said, "Oh my God, no, you didn't call out Tissa." And they said, "Yeah, I did." And so they went back. So all of the content creators, that little group that was out there were a lot of random people out there. So you could hear them. It wasn't like far, far away. You could hear the crowd. So yeah, it was a crowd. Shout out to Cancer66 for being a member for 13 months. Thank you so much, sis. I think you were one of my first. Well, yeah. Really, it's over 13 months, I think, Cancer 66, and I appreciate your support. Yeah, it's just people outside. Yeah, $20 wearing t-shirts saying free Diddy. Oh my God, Jay-Z up next. Uh-oh. Okay, he talked about her hair. Talking about she like Peggy Bundy. It's like, now that one wig, it did remind me of Peg Bundy on Married with Children. I'm not gonna lie, no shade, Tissa. But she wore, if y'all noticed, she did wear her hair like that with the little headband. Who cares about Diddy? Who cares about Diddy? Well, we don't care like that, but we were following that trial, so we're invested at some point. Oh, dreaming. I'm just saying she did. So when he said it, my mouth dropped. I was like, because I never made the connection. I'm like, oh my gosh, no. Yeah, Doris. Yeah. Okay, Ratchet brought people back there to bullying. Wow. You see Hot Miami trying to come back. Oh my gosh. Let's see. I just hope all the content creators take their position seriously and keep start the professionalism. And Tissa and Ratchet are very passionate. Just be discreet, please. She said the blank word too. Didn't she? I don't think I've ever seen Tissa get mad, y'all. So that day, she held it, but a part of her hood came out. And I only say that because I do try to stay professional, especially in certain certain arenas or whatever you're doing. But sometimes, baby, don't let the number 2 come out. Okay. I have never seen her get upset. I'm gonna be honest. And so I was like, man, Tissa's about to get with me. And then here comes Gerald. And I think that frustrates you even more, though. Y'all gonna wait till I'm live to go and pop off on me. I'm trying to keep my live going. That's like when my kids come in here. Can y'all please wait? Let me get through my live and we'll talk. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, Mary. Oh my gosh, y'all. This has been a great live. Shout out to all of you that sponsored the live. Shout out to the moderators in the chat. I really appreciate you ladies. And shout out to everyone. Make sure if y'all didn't hit the like button, that is for free. Also, if you would like to support the channel, you can send a super sticker, super chat. Cash App is on the screen, or purchase a coffee, and that is pinned at the top. But I have thoroughly enjoyed. Make sure you check out the live from yesterday, y'all. We went into even more content creator beef. Okay. It was a lot going on that day. And also a video that I did on yesterday. But thank y'all so much for joining. I enjoyed you all. And I pray y'all have a blessed, happy 4th. I have to get ready. We have places to go, people to see. And until next time, be blessed. Bye-bye.
Flip through truth with the open book. If you felt that heat, like share and stay locked in. Another chapter done, but we far from finish. Truth on the mic, yeah, we handle business. Real talk, no fluff, just facts and fire.
Shout out
from the
to
book
all the
to
new
the block, we
subscribers.
taking it higher.
Thank you,
The
love
open
and
book.
happiness.
Every voice matters. Every lie shatters. Catch you next page.
Thank you, African Goddess. Thank you, Dreamy Girl. Shout out, Nelly. Thank you, Pam. Happy 4th.